Court is in session in cause number 332032. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Tyler Xavier Abraham. Mr. Abraham, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Abraham, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Abraham, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Abraham, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Abraham?
All right.
Mr. Abraham, you're represented in your case by your attorney Giles Cole, Attorney Cole. Do you waive a record in Mr. Abraham's case?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Abraham, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that on or about March 26th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespassing. Mr. Abraham, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Abraham, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Not guilty? Now, are you
Yes,
pleading
sir.
guilty? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Abraham, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. On page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials TA that are on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the next page of this same document, Mr. Abraham, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Abraham, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
On the next document that is titled this trial court certification to defendant's right of appeal, there's also a signature at the bottom of this document above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Abraham, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Abraham, did you also say, oh, well, at the top of this document, Mr. Abraham, there are 2 boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The next box that's checked states that this is that you are waiving, let's see. Okay. Well, this box states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up the right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Abraham, did you sign a document out there on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Abraham, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I have just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Cole, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes,
Is
sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Now, Mr. Abraham, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State. I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 is admitted. Mr. Cole, you've advised and counseled Mr. Abraham. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Abraham, your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Abraham, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Hey, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 10 days, time served, court costs to be taxed and returned.
Okay, Mr. Abraham, the state is offering that you serve 10 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you've already served 10 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case is $327, but you will not have to pay the $327 court cost because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Abraham,
Yes, sir.
do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Abraham, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Abraham, if nothing else is holding you in jail, you should get out of jail today.
Yes, sir.
This will conclude your case. You can follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it wasn't? Okay, we're being